Hello everyone, I'm Sonali Sharma from A.J.K MCRC Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, India, presenting imagined communities and reimagined spaces of Delhi Metro, Metro Doodle on Instagram. New Delhi, India has witnessed an intense physical, socio-cultural metamorphosis over the last 2 decades. There have been several concurrent developments. The multi-phase expanding operations of the Delhi Metro rail network, the public's increasing access to and decreasing costs of digital media technologies, and the rise of internet-based social media. Interconnected smart mobile devices act as sites for community engagement through social media. Instagram, a social networking site, has the highest number of users from India. The inauguration of new modes of visuality and sociality through the mobility of Instagram draws attention to the city's residents' mediated lives and everyday encounters in liminal spaces such as the Delhi Metro. In my earlier work on the Delhi Metro and Instagram, I have engaged with the notion of place and the complexities of relationships between individuals, communities, images, digital technologies, urban spaces, and the transformations in their everyday mobilities and practices. The presentation provides a glimpse of the socially constructed Delhi Metro commuters' communities imagined and shared on the Instagram account Metro Doodle by Samar Khan, a Delhi Metro commuter and artist. Samar Khan started work as a software developer after completing his graduation. His daily life then involved a 3-hour round-trip metro journey between the two ends of the city. As reflected in his Instagram posts, Samar Khan's unique perspective and artistic interpretation play a crucial role in presenting his perceptions of these imagined communities. How does he present their everyday mobilities, sensorial subjectivities, volatile socialities, and the mobile-mediated visualities of the changing city in the past decade? How may one read the ludic aesthetics of his creative artworks that represent a reimagination of a mosaic of narratives shared by everyday urban travelers? How does the commuter artist capture their metro travel encounters, creating an unofficial online archive of the Delhi Metro community's tangible and intangible experiences? The research considers the years spanning from 2016 to 2023, a period in India when Instagram gained immense popularity and smartphones rapidly evolved, quickly emerging as the primary medium for most Indians to connect with the digital world. The visual methodological approach recognizes what Pink calls the interwovenness of objects, texts, images, and technologies in people's everyday lives. It involves participant observation, in-depth interviews with the digital artist, and a close study of his commuter artworks. The data retrieval was conducted manually by downloading photographs directly from the Instagram web page using third-party download plugins like FastSave and screenshots taken by the researcher. The point of departure for this presentation is rereading social theorist Benedict Anderson's idea of imagined communities. Nancy Baym argues, an online community style is shaped by a range of pre-existing structures including external contexts, temporal structure, system infrastructure, group purposes, and participant characteristics. In ongoing communicative interaction, participants strategically appropriate and exploit the resources and roles those structures offer. The result is a dynamic set of systematic social meanings that enables participants to imagine themselves as a community. Most significant are the emergence of group-specific forms of expression, identities, relationships, and normative conventions. This article also considers a sense of community as defined by Macmillan and Chavez to include a bond connecting individuals to their communities. It focuses on the sense of belonging that Delhi Metro commuters have, how they feel they can make a difference, the social relationships between the Delhi Metro commuter communities, the common physical and digital spaces they inhabit, the support extended to other members, their identity as residents of the digital city, and their shared emotional connection bounded together with histories, navigation of familiar places, time spent together, and similar experiences using the Delhi Metro infrastructures. Through this presentation, I look at how social media and Instagram in particular contribute to the rise of imagined communities. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram have changed how people connect and interact. They transcend the limitations of physical proximity, allowing social media users to form online communities based on shared interests, values, goals, and in this case, everyday practices and mobilities. They foster the creation of imagined communities that have the potential to unite people across genders, diverse locations, backgrounds, and social classes, and provide a space for individuals to articulate their identities and find others with similar experiences or perspectives. Hashtags, groups, and pages dedicated to specific interests or movements create a sense of belonging and solidarity among members. These virtual spaces reinforce individual and collective identities, making the imagined community more tangible. As a visually driven social media platform, Instagram plays a significant role in forming and sustaining communities. Instagram's emphasis on visual content allows users to craft and share their identities through photos, videos, and stories. Users express their individual and collective identities by curating their feeds with specific themes, aesthetics, and narratives. Hashtags on Instagram have emerged as tools for discovering and participating in communities. Users can follow specific hashtags related to their interests. These hashtags aggregate content from diverse users, creating a virtual space where community members can interact, share, and support each other, fostering the growth of imagined communities centered around common themes, activities, and everyday practices. The interactive features on Instagram, such as comments, likes, direct messages, and stories, facilitate real-time engagement among users. This interaction is crucial for sustaining imagined communities, allowing members to communicate, provide feedback, and support each other. Engagement fosters a sense of connection and solidarity, making the community feel more tangible and immediate. Around 2016, Samar Khan, a software professional in his early 20s, began chronicling his city journeys through a series of doodles on his Samsung tablet to break the monotony of his daily 3-hour metro rides. He photographed the metro and the platforms on his smartphone and then illustrated them, posting his first creative artwork on Instagram under Metro Doodle on October 29, 2016. This is his first doodle, where he imported the image into the sketching app on his mobile device and started drawing a character next to him. Samar tags the image with many hashtags. Some of these hashtags serve as obvious markers of identity to indicate its form. Hashtag doodle, hashtag art, hashtag sketch, hashtag digital art. What it is about, hashtag Delhi Metro, hashtag tube, hashtag subway, hashtag creatures, where, hashtag Delhi, hashtag Metro, hashtag India, hashtag So Delhi, hashtag Delhigrams, hashtag Instagram, and the device on which it was created, hashtag Pen, hashtag Note4, how the image has been created, hashtag sketchbook, and who has inspired it, hashtag Subway Doodle. These hashtags also become the means to build connections with other users on the platform and circulate the images. By 2018, he had created these artworks for a year, devoting 1 hour every day to them. 9 hours of summer's day were spent at work, and he only drew on his evening metro ride. When asked about his creative process, he shared that sometimes the doodles came to him first. He would look for scenes to capture and shoot them. Since there was a pressure, a kind of need to keep posting regularly, Summer started looking at various illustrative cultural forms for inspiration. He would keep an archive of almost 1,000 to 2,000 pictures of the metro in his phone gallery. These were kept in anticipation of any creative idea that may spring into his mind. He believed that inspiration could come at any time, present or future, and he wished to have the potential image ready for that possibility. He always backs up his images on a cloud service with almost 100 GB of space being taken up on his mobile phone. Sometimes he would get an idea for a doodle first. At others, he would first see an image, imagine something, and then create the commuter artwork. In 2019, Summer quit his job, which gave him the space and time to receive commissioned work, endorsements, workshop opportunities, and other creative collaborations. Post the response he received on Instagram for Metro Doodle. He shares a social media rule for himself. If you cannot be consistent with your content, you will lose those who follow you. Several artists have created such content internationally, but not many Indian artists were then visible on social media. Since Summer had been following various pages and other people who doodled on pictures, he was perhaps one of the early movers who contextualized the daily commute experience in the Indian context. For example, if you look at Subway Doodle's work on Instagram, he doodles on the New York subway and can be seen as one of the main inspirations for Metro Doodle's commuter artwork. On the Instagram account, we see crushed and weary bodies, the dangers of unexpected creatures, the dystopic city, and the ubiquity of mobile phones. The joy of relative comfort gradually gives way to the stress, exhaustion, and fatigue of bodies densely packed into compartments. Like all other forms of daily public transport, even in the metro, there are more bodies than space. The crowd and the figure of weary metro commuters heading home after a long day at work is a recurring motif that cuts across most of his work, demonstrating how metro bears witness to the collective fatigue and exhaustion of the city. Here, Samarkand suggests in the artwork the everyday warlike readiness expected from the commuters who use the Rajiv Chowk metro station, one of the busiest metro stations of Delhi metro network. The crowd is a recurrent theme which he returns to in the commuter artwork that he shares on social media. The first image on the left was posted on Instagram on January 22, 2017. The station is presented as a battleground where a daily commute may turn at any instant to a warlike situation in which a traveler would find it hard to escape unscathed. The battle cry, "It's a war," is inscribed in red, presumably blood, on a pillar that identifies the metro station. The second image was posted in around 2019. Metro Doodle often ascribes a recurrent motif of modernity and technology to the Delhi metro. Present in his artworks are a reimagination of the city's landscape and anthropomorphic creatures who look like aliens, perhaps punning on the city's alienation. A large volume of his commuter artwork highlights the affective geography of Delhi's cityscape, the performative and gender dimension of urban mobility, and the many modes of the Delhi metro. In some ways, he directs attention It was the theatricality of the train as a stage. By sharing personal stories, anecdotes, and behind the scenes glimpses into his travel experiences, Metro Doodle has curated posts that Instagram users can relate to. The storytelling aspect has built an emotionally connected community. The followers of the account feel part of the journey, creating a shared narrative that binds this imagined Delhi metro community together. His interaction with them through various Instagram features like comments, live sessions, stories, and direct messages create a sense of intimacy and personal connection. Consistent and engaging content is crucial for sustaining a community. He emphasizes innovating with his commuter artworks form and how creating for social media means that a digital practitioner cannot keep repeating the same methods or follow the same image-making practices. Instagram users such as Samar Khan, who record and reimagine their experiences in public spaces, create a shared visual repository that enhances the collective memory of these locations. Ranging from photographs to videos, they contribute to a communal narrative. Khan's commuter artworks posted on Instagram become focal points for diverse communities, sometimes facilitating the transition from virtual communities to real-world interactions. He has often participated in meetups, events, and gatherings in public spaces, allowing members of imagined communities to connect in person. Summer has experimented with various forms of graphic art, including doodles on images, GIFs, process videos, comic illustrations, and animations, while introducing anthropomorphic creatures in almost all artwork that he creates. The interplay between imagined communities, public spaces, and Instagram reveals a fascinating dynamic where virtual and physical realms intersect. The Delhi Metro is a public space that is a physical anchor for the imagined Delhi Metro commuter communities. Instagram amplifies the significance of these spaces by allowing users to share their experiences and interactions within these environments. Hashtags, geotags, and photo tags enable users to connect over shared locations, fostering a sense of community among those who frequent or are interested in these spaces. Public spaces provide dynamic and engaging settings for content creation. The Delhi Metro emerges as a theatre of the ordinary through the commuter artworks. Summer's works attract a larger audience and engage followers more effectively, perhaps because more than featuring well-known or aesthetically pleasing locations, it reimagines the everyday by inscribing the intangible into the frame. During the pandemic, Summer shared a post of a corona man sitting on a deserted staircase leading into a metro station and tapping his feet, waiting for the metro commuters to return. The Instagram communities create virtual public spaces where users may interact, bridging imagined communities and public spaces. This work attempts to reflect on the image of imagined communities that are not constrained by the dichotomy of physical-virtual boundaries, but instead share a sense of belonging and identity through everyday mobility and experiences among their members. To conclude, subjective imaginations on Instagram may articulate interesting observations about charged affect in private public experiences in public spaces, commuters' shared values and quotidian experiences, and the metro-rural account may serve as an immaterial community archive of their evolving sensory adaptations and mental experiences of the city. This presentation shares a glimpse of select commuters users experiencing the metropolitan city in online and offline modes, claiming and reimagining it and fostering diverse representations. New meanings are articulated, leading to an enhanced sense of place and a sense of community. Thank you.